Well, hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. This video is going to be a bit more informal and I'm going to go through with you and do some rock tumbling. So I'm going to call this series Rock Tumble with Me. And my goal is that you are currently starting a barrel and we're going to be starting on step 1 and we can kind of do the rock tumbling journey together. So each week on Wednesdays here, I'm going to be emptying the barrel and putting in new rocks and doing all that fun process, and I hope that you do it along with me. While I'm doing this, I also am going to be answering questions about different things that you might have questions about in the rock tumbling process. I hope to give you tips and tricks and all that sort of fun stuff. I was going to do this as a live video, but I decided that it'd be kind of difficult to do it live and then also be responding to comments at the same time. So instead of doing it as a live video, we'll do it like this, and then I'll premiere it so that you can ask questions along as we go and I can answer you live right then. Also, if you're watching this video after I premiere it and you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them about any of your rock tumbling questions and ideas. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. We have everything we need here. We have our tumbler barrel. We also have our first step 1 coarse grit, 60 by 90 grit, silicone carbide's what I use. Polyplastics has it nice in like these little step 1, step 2 things, which I think is pretty cool. So then you don't even really have to worry about that other part. I also brought out some ceramic media just in case we end up needing it. And remember, the ceramic media is just to fill in the little gaps between the rocks so that you can really make sure you get the grit to all of the different areas. And then I also have some rocks. Now these rocks are actually rocks that came with the tumbler, and I still have quite a few left. I haven't really used very many of them, so I thought that today would be a good day to do it. And some of the rocks are pretty cool. The others are okay. But here is kind of an example of some of the rocks that are in here. I'm pretty sure that this is a rock that I found because I don't really think there's many red jaspers in with these kinds of rocks. But they do have some cool patterns and things on them. And there are some that are clear like this that might be chalcedony or even agate, which is kind of cool. Like this one here looks like it could end up being an agate. So we're going to take our rocks, and as you can see, these are all kinds of different sizes. We have really big ones, we have smaller ones, and really small ones. Now these, as you can tell, are super duper sharp. So they are rocks that have been crushed and made specifically kind of for tumbling. One thing that can be kind of tough when the rocks are so sharp is we might end up having to do our grit 1 2 times. So you might end up having to do that too with your rocks, or maybe when you're done with your grit 1 for the first time, you're ready to move on. But we'll see what happens come week 2, I suppose. So first, let's just get all of our rocks in the tumbler. Yeah, and there are some really cool ones, so I'm kind of excited to see how these all turn out. Especially, like, as you can tell, it's really getting my fingers all powdery. They're really, really dirty, so it is hard to tell what some of them are. Like, look how clear that one is. Now, this one's probably really tiny, so it's not gonna end up turning into anything other than maybe just some extra grit, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, that actually ended up being just about perfect. I might take a couple more from our little bag of tricks here. Ooh, that one's actually really cool. I like the red on it. So we'll do that one. Oh, that one's cool too. That one. And actually that should be good. Okay, so you can see my tumbler barrel is about 3/4 of the way full. It does have a lot of little pieces in it, but I think I will still add, I don't know, maybe just a little bit of ceramic media. So here's my ceramic media. This stuff, if you can see in there, has already been used. So you can see a variety of sizes. But we'll just kind of sprinkle this in here just to kind of fill up those spaces so that we really make sure we get to all the nooks and crannies of our rocks. I'd say that looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll cap all of our stuff back again here. And now we are going to add our grit. So with our grit, I use 1 tablespoon per pound of rocks. Or honestly, I don't really measure much anymore. If you saw my most recent rock tumbling video, you will see what happened when I tried to measure the last time that I did this. But what I've kind of found is that my barrel here, doing 2 scoops of each of the steps, ends up being like perfect for me. Now the Polyplastics instructions does recommend 2 scoops of grit per pound of rocks, but I really kind of think, yeah, you can see right here, 2 tablespoons per pound of rocks, but I really don't think you need that much. I don't know. I do 1 tablespoon per pound. Plus it helps save on grit, which can be kind of expensive. So we'll take this and we will get our grit out and ready here. So we have our first scoop. Let's put it in. I think it looks so cool when it does that. It's like, ooh, there it all goes. Okay, there's 1. And scoop number 2. In we go. There we go. Now, of course, we can't forget to cap the lid right away here. Do not want that spilling. In the first grit scoop, you usually don't get your tablespoon measurement too dirty, but it is something that you should do, which is like rinse it out when you're done. So I'm going to do that. We'll grab the hose here. And I'm just going to do it off camera, but trust me, I'm rinsing it. You can probably hear it a little bit. Now, we'll fill up our tumbler barrel here with some water. And I really only want to go, I usually like to do the water first just in case I put too much. There we go. A little bit more. There. Okay. So I just put it to the top level of the rocks, just like that. And remember, if you're having any questions or things like that, just leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to help. Ooh, look at how pretty that ended up looking when you got it all wet. I think that these are going to end up pretty cool. Okay, so we got that. Now, I don't know why, but I always forget to bring like a little towel out to dry this off a little bit. Oops, sorry. So I always forget to bring a towel out to dry this off a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. We'll put the lid back on, which is just the seal here. Ooh. Don't pop it through though. And then we have our, I don't know, top lid. And these 2 little pieces here, dry them off on my pants because I, like I said, didn't bring a towel. But we'll put that on and then we twist this on. I don't really know how tight, maybe just like finger tight. You don't want it too tight, but just tight enough. All right, and there we go. So we have our tumbler barrel ready here. We're gonna put it on the tumbler for a week. I hope that you got your tumbler ready and that you were kind of working along with me, since that's kind of the goal of the video. And I hope that it was fun, because I thought it was fun too. So anyways, I'm gonna go put this on my tumbler barrel. I hope that you do the same, and I'll see you next week, Wednesday at 5:30, to check on our rocks, and then we can all move on to grit number 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video, and if you did, give it a big old thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. I make new videos like this every single week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!